Hi friends, I am back. We are going to do our read aloud separate from our calendar today because it's a little extra long. But pay close attention to the different foods that you hear about in this story because when you come back, you will be working on a project that tells me about your favorite foods. This can give you some ideas. Let's take a look at a turkey for Thanksgiving. That's my title. The author is Eve Bunting, who writes the words, and the illustrator who makes the pictures is Diane DeGroat. So let's take a look. Ooh, I already see some characters who the story's about. It was Thanksgiving morning. Mr. Moose helped Mrs. Moose set the Thanksgiving table. Sheep will sit here. He likes a chair that's straight up and down. Rabbit here and Porcupine here. Mr. and Mrs. Goat will go here. He smiled at his wife. Isn't it nice to have friends to share Thanksgiving with? We might not be sharing it with our friends because of Corona, but I hope you're sharing it with your family and the people in your household to keep everyone safe. Mrs. Moose set 2 paper pilgrims, one on each end of the table. She placed the paper turkey with its great fan of a tail between the candles and stood back. "Ah, they look great, my dear," Mr. Moose said. Miss Moose sighed. "Yes, but I wish we had a real turkey. Everyone always has turkey for Thanksgiving. Everyone but us. It's okay to be different." Mr. Moose nuzzled Mrs. Moose's head. "Well, that won't do. I will go this minute and find you a turkey for Thanksgiving." Mr. Moose put on his cap and went out. Mist wandered through the bare trees. The cold made his nose water. Rabbit poked his head from the rabbit hole. "Mr. Moose, is it dinner time?" "Not quite yet. Mrs. Moose wants a turkey. I'm off to find one." Rabbit joined him in 3 quick hops. "I'll come too." Now we have 2 new characters. We have the Mr. Moose and the rabbit. Moose's warm breath hung white in front of him. That means he could see his breath because it was chilly. Snow crunched under his hooves and made little holes that Rabbit jumped over. "I see the goats," Rabbit said. Mr. Goat raised his head and spat out the tin can he was chewing. "Is it dinner time?" he called. "Not till I find a turkey," Mr. Moose said. "He saw one down by the river." And Mr. Goat added, "A fat one." The goats leaped down from their perch. "We'll show you." Sheep was farther up the hillside, looking around as a furball in his winter coat. "Is it dinner time?" he asked. "First I have to find a turkey," said Mr. Moose. "There's a turkey nest on the river bank," Sheep called. "Wait for me." Oh, even more characters. The earth smelled of ice and moss as they crunched along. Above them a crow hung, black as a puff of wood smoke. Porcupine was hiding in the underbrush. "It's you," he said and put his quills down. "We're off to get a turkey for Mrs. Moose," Mr. Moose explained. "Do you want to come?" "I'm slow. Pick me up on your way back." "Who'd want to pick you up?" Sheep asked, and he laughed his bleat of a laugh. "I'll wait," Porcupine told Mr. Moose. "Why wouldn't they want to pick the porcupine up? Take a look at this character. Why wouldn't they want to pick him up? What do you think?" They saw Turkey's nest right away, and Turkey himself peering over the top of it. "Turkey, Turkey," Mr. Moose called in his sweetest voice. "Ugh," Turkey said from his nest, and he ran. The moose lumbered after him. "Turkey, don't run. We just want you for Thanksgiving dinner." Turkey ran faster. Why's the turkey running? What do you think? Mr. Moose saw the red and blue sheen of Turkey's neck. Turkey's tail brushed crumbs of snow behind him as he tried to fly. "Ugh, I'm too fat," Mr. Goat said. Turkey's legs bent in the middle of him as he fell. Mr. Moose put a booted hoof on his head and smiled his great toothy smile. "I hope you don't have other plans for Thanksgiving, Turkey." What's going to happen? What are they going to do with that turkey at Thanksgiving? He helped Turkey up. "My wife won't mind that you're too fat," he said. "Let's go. It's getting close to dinner time." He looks a little worried. He looks blue. He's worried. They marched Turkey in front. I'm sorry about this, for I can see you don't want to come, Mr. Moose said, but I must insist. A promise is a promise to Mrs. Moose. There was a wreath of dried fruit on Moose's door. Inside, the house was filled with Thanksgiving smells. The different smells of the food. Think about your favorite foods. Look who I brought, Mrs. Moose, he said. Well, I see sheep, the goats, rabbit, and porcupine, and ta-da! He pushed Turkey around in front of him. For you, a turkey for Thanksgiving. They look hungry, but look at Turkey's face. He still looks worried. Why is the turkey worried? Why is he worried on Thanksgiving? Mrs. Moose clapped her hoofs. I'm so happy to have you, Turkey. Thank you, Mr. Moose. Now everything's perfect. Shall we sit? Sheep asked, heading for the straight up and down chair. Let's, Mrs. Moose pointed. Rabbit here, porcupine here, Mr. and Mrs. Goat here. And look, I brought a chair from the other room in hopes of a turkey. Why does a turkey need a chair? A chair? Turkey asked. Right next to me, Mrs. Moose said. Light the candles, Mr. Moose. There were bowls of acorns, alfalfa sprouts, dried since summer. There was willow bark and cured grasses and wild parsley. There was leaves, thin and pale as new ice on a pond. Ooh, look at all that yummy food that these animals are going to eat. Think about your favorite food for your project. I hope you find something here to your liking, Mr. Turkey, Mrs. Moose said. I wasn't sure of your taste. You are so kind to worry about my taste, Turkey said. I thought you'd be worrying about how I would taste. That's why the turkey was worried. He thought they were going to eat him. Heavens, no, Mr. Moose smiled. His big tooth smiled and filled everyone's cup with cold spring water. It's so nice to have friends around the table at Thanksgiving. Turkeys wobbled. It's even nicer to be at your table than on your table. He said, Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And Happy Thanksgiving, Turkey. So the problem in our story was what? What was the problem the turkey had? He was so worried that they were going to eat him on Thanksgiving. But we problem solved, and Mrs. Moose got all of those nice things that the turkey would have good taste for instead. They just wanted to be friends with the turkey and be surrounded by friends for Thanksgiving. That's how we solved that problem. There was so many different characters in our story. Can you comment down below a list of characters, the story in our story? Name the different characters. And my friends, I hope you had some good ideas for the food that you will tell me about on your project, your favorite foods. Are some of your favorite foods alfalfa sprouts? Maybe some wild parsley? Those could go on your project. We will see when you come back for your project instructions. My friends, kiss your brain. Do it again. I am so proud of you, and I will see you soon.